so these cosmic reports is being brought to you by Darrell's son, um, from the daughter of Salam, the son of Darrell. So we at the museum. And I really wish I had some music to go with this. Let me see. 1 second. 1 second. All right, let that spin. Let the cosmos. Let that spin. Let that spin. All right. Yeah. Yeah. What we want to do? As I'm doing the cosmic reports. So I don't just listen to rap and R&B, listen to classical music too, and I have been for a very long time. I write to it. I ride to it. You feel me? Like ride out. This is a piece called Constellation by Viet Cong. That's coupling us as I do these cosmic reports. Okay, so let's see where we at. This piece is called Constellations. So we're looking at the constellations as we listen to this. So it's a lot going on right now. Our moon just passed Regulus A, which I refer to in my house, we refer to as Nipsey Hussle and Hermes. If you look at a lot of these stars, they have Arabic names, and Hermes is a Arabic name that means God will rise. And so the day that Nip was born, the sun was aligned with where the moon is at right now. So we give homage to Nipsey, we give homage to Nip, the Lion of Judah. The Lion of Judah. So what else is going on right now? So this, I'm just scanning the sky here. That's the Virgin Mary. Again, the moon just passed Regulus, so that's right now current. This is current time, right? 8:45 on the East Coast. 8:45 on the East, right? So Venus is entering the ram. Look at Venus there. I seen Venus yesterday, and sometimes you would see these planets and you would think that they're stars, right? And so I was looking at Venus from this angle, like standing east, looking west as it set, following the sun. There's the sun there. The sun is right there in like the slit of Pisces. And then here I discovered that all these planets are aligned right now. You have, hold on, that's Capricorn. I was just trying to get a depiction of everything that's going on. But right there you see Mercury, Mars, Neptune, and Saturn. They're all aligned with the sun right now. This is current. So there's Mercury in Aquarius. Mars is transitioning into Pisces. Mars moves a little faster. Mars and Mercury, they move faster than Saturn and Neptune. I took a screenshot of it. Timestamp, save, clock. Oh, so for the brothers, you know how the sisters do this? Guys don't do that. That's for the women. You gotta clock it like that, like you clocking the stopwatch. This is how we clock. All right, bet. Boom, boom. Call Q. Feel me? Clock. Timestamp. 8:58. So that's Sagittarius. There's not a lot of stuff going on in Sagittarius except Pluto is really in Capricorn. is going into Capricorn. So they move slower. Mars, Saturn, they move slower because they further out, if you get the point. So they got a longer, it's like if you have a circle, if you walking around the center of a circle, like in a square in a city, if you have a park circle in your city, you walk around it and it's probably going to take you 20 minutes. But if you go up a block, right, and then do it again, it's going to take you longer. And so that's why it takes these planets to go fuck, because their orbital path is, or like pull. I look at the constellations like they have their own pull. If you ever been to, Wet n Wild, Emerald Point, right? Emerald Point, you see the green, that's for emerald. So at Emerald Point, they had the pool, the pools you can go, around in. That's how the constellations are doing. We designed this technology. We for ages, we designed this technology for these planets to orbit around our sun, the soul. That's who. That's why we have Christians. Christians aren't against humanity. You understand? Like you have people that's in It's Not Real, that's protesting against what It's Not Real is doing because they know it's not real. You feel me? And so you have people like everybody that practices Christianity is not like Satanists. Do you understand? Because what they're doing is spiritual worship of the sun. The sun is the Christ, right? That's the rising sun. Happy Holy Week, by the way. Happy Holy Week. So that's Cassiopeia, beautiful. Cassiopeia. Let's look at this really quick. Let's see. So you see Cassiopeia. You see Cassiopeia. You see Cassiopeia. You see it. You see Sophia. You see Cassiopeia. There she is Sophia. She's grieving. She grieved. She's grieving. So this is we coming from the parish of Saint Andromeda, her daughter. So that's what we talking. That's the daughter of Cephas, and Cassiopeia is Andromeda. So the parish of Saint Andromeda, she was a disciple of Christ. She was one of Christ's disciples. Do you understand? Assalamu alaikum. So that she is there. So that's the parish that we talking to you from. That's it. So Saint Andromeda. And so again, you see Regulus there. Now I just stumbled across this today as I was preparing that short that I did, which is right here. And as I was doing, my research, I stumbled across this. And this was, so it says, let me just read it. This book is 100 years old. Jucelia Dungy Houston. And this is page 205 in her book. As you can see, timestamp, read. The first writ was done like before my daughter was born, and then in the blue is you see I read to both of them, and that's I read that whole book to them straight through. I don't know how I did it. I feel like a champion because like that's a big book. That's 200 and some odd pages. And so we read it, we got through it, but it's an easy read, right? It's an easy read. And this is written by, Sister Jucelia Dungy Houston in 1926, but it probably took her 15 plus years to prepare these. She was a journalist before she was an author. So she was, she had practiced her skill through publishing articles. That's what I do. You feel me? I put my writs out there so that the people, that's, got a feel for my writing style when they purchase my book. That's what this is all about. It's credibility. And so, Jucelia, we honor you for Women's History Month. Barbara Gardem, we honor you for Women's History Month. Daryl Luis, yeah, Daryl Luis Jones Slade, we honor you, Mama. You know, Ty Marty, we honor you, right? My grandma, Dorothy Louise, no, Dorothy Louise Jones, Jordan, we honor you, Grandma. Orally Malloy, we honor you, Lucy, who we sat with your descendants today, Lucy. Asa Lucy, Asalero Batayero. So we honor you, you know, and to the living, Deborah Paulin, we honor you. I give you your flowers while you living. That's so the whole concept of Amun Ra is the hidden one. You know what I'm saying? The one that's hidden in plain sight, and that's Deborah Paulin, right? And you know we honor you. We honor your descendants. My sister Jessica, we honor you. You know, mashallah to your first grandbaby. My sister, I'm about to say my sister gave birth to her first grandbaby. Practically. But my sister, she has 3 grandbabies now. So all of my siblings have grandchildren. You feel me? And so I'm enriched with great nieces and nephews. I'm enriched, you know. So I talk to them directly, these lives directly to them. You feel me? Because this is their blood, you know. My great nephews and nieces. I have a great nephew that's in the 9th grade. You feel me? That's amazing. So here I noted that it says I wrote a star declaration for Nipsey Hussle, Regulus. So we identify on Earth Regulus to be Nipsey Hussle for the simple fact, and the evidence is the fact that the sun was at Regulus in the house of the lion, right? Aligned with Regulus A, right? On the day that Nipsey was born. And so it says that August 15th, 2022. And the interesting thing is the coordinate point that I was at when I wrote that was 8:15. It was 15:8. It was 15:8. You feel me? It was 8:15. No. It's written. It's written, okay? I got the coordinate point, and I was like 15 minutes north of the 35th parallel. But the accurate full decimal point is that Nipsey's birthday. So it was all aligned, and it was on the day I wrote it the day that he had his star dedication in Hollywood. You feel me? And so that's like I can't see who's coming on to the live because I don't have my glasses on and I legitimately can't see. You know, but welcome. You feel me? Welcome. So I'm about to read this joint. And you see I'm gonna have to lean in because I can't see. So it says this race had taught writing and had established institutions of city, home, and state. When other races were wandering barbarians, they gave the constellations. Woo! That's what's playing right now in the background. Constellations by Viet Cong. By Viet Cong. VIET space CUONG. Viet Cong. Constellations. They gave constellations of the heavens the names of old kings and the ancient Kushite empire of Ethiopians. And we, in adopting them, she says we, so that means she's speaking from a second person point of view. Do you understand? Second person meaning that she's not saying she's not a part of this.
She's saying that these were the people that came before her, that was her people, because she was that had the phenotype of the people that she's writing about. Do you understand? And the blood, to be clear, to be perfectly clear, to be perfectly clear. They gave the constellations of the heavens names of the old kings of the ancient Kushite Empire of the Ethiopians. So Cassiopeia was named after an Ethiopian woman who existed. And we, in adopting them, have not realized that the ancestors of the emphasized Ethiopians among us has reached the height and the ability to dare to name the stars. As the language of Babylonia changed, there was corresponding intermixture of blood with alien races. Hmm? Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so the habits and natures of the people changed. Okay, amidst the luxuries and wealth that came from her conquests and commerce, the people became effeminate and voluptuous, right? Let's spin that black around the block. Spin it black. Bateroko, biddy. All right. We got Shafiro Corere Portori Piroku Torepano. Yerero Cotare She. All right, bet. So, Munich, Philharmonic Orchestra. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to the ball game. Let's get to the ball game. Let's get to the ball game. All right, y'all watching the Final Four right now, ain't you? This don't mean nothing. You don't know none of this history because you watching the Final Four right now. Who cares? Really, real talk. I don't care. Who cares? Who cares? This is sports. Knowledge is sports. You feel me? So it says that Apata Voluptuous. Curtis said that at the last nothing could be more corrupt than their morals. Money dissolved in every tie, whether kindred or esteem. They became immoderate in their use of wine. The women at last threw away her sense of decency. On the grounds of this awful wickedness, Babylon was threatened with the destructions at the hand of the prophets, and the prophecy was fulfilled. Babylon, this is what we're seeing right now in real time. Right now, today, Babylon has fallen, and that great city, because she made all of the nations to drink the wine of the wrath of what did it say? Of her fornication, right? The earlier Kushite life had been pure. Mother. Shalom alaikum. What did it say? Did it say 539 BC? Babylon was invaded by the Persians. So the Persians were the Iranians. Do you understand? From behind the massive walls, they were regarded with derision. Nabonidus, in his profound contempt, risked a battle, long-lived Barbara battle, in which his troops were defeated. The larger portion of the army were retreated into the city, but the king and the remainder sought to divide the forces of the enemy. So we see that's happening, right? This is literally happening right now. It said that the Persians invaded Babylonia after it fell. Do you understand? And that's what's happening right now. The Iranians is the Persians. Babylon has fallen. You feel me? So, here we go. I brought these facts up, and I just want to. Y'all have to tell me, do y'all like my lives better or my real? Do you like the lives better or the shorts? Feel me? Because I'm like just testing that out. I'm testing. I'm literally like, bro, I don't work for nobody. I work for the Most High. How many of y'all work for the Most High? How many of you all are literally employed by the Most High, right? And the Most High doesn't pay you in fiat. They pay you in children that look just like you, that think just like you, that walk just like you, that talk just like you. That, oh, I am the vine and these are the branches. These are the branches. Mississippi. You feel me? It says the barber all have woolly hair with saint beards and the figures of negroes on the wall of the Egyptian. Why? They want us to hate this. They want me to hate myself. They want me to wake up in sorrow because this is how I look. But that's not it. That ain't it. I love how I look. Women love how I look. You feel what I'm saying? Man. When I walk in the room, people stop what they doing. You feel me? They stop what they doing. That's because of my looks. Am I supposed to be ashamed? No. I had women stop me. You say, you look drop dead gorgeous. She reminded me. I'm like, damn, I appreciate that. For real. Clock. Clock. Punch the clock. Punch the clock. Timestamp 9:16. You feel me? Because, like, when I see a beautiful woman, I tell her. You know what I'm saying? And you smell her. You feel me? So that's how I am. Like, I love myself. I love my hair. Natural. It's natural. You know what I mean? No Beijing, nigga. We not Chinese. Ain't got no, you know, ain't no Beijing. Nigga. Ain't no Beijing. I'm Carolinian. I'm Bohemian. You get it? Does that make sense? I'm a Bohemian Carolinian, but the Carolinians were the Bohemians. They the same people, and I'm gonna prove it to you right here. Hold on. Before I go there, though, let's finish this. They came originally from the club. They say they called Dauphin, once they immigrated to 2,000 years ago. They have rejected the name Nubas, because it had become synonymous with slave. The Nubas, it became synonymous with slave. They call themselves Barbara. Barbara. They call themselves Barber. Their ancient race name. Their ancient race name. We are the Barber. The Barbara. From the Barbara. The Barbara from the Barbara. The Barbara from the Catawba. The Catawba. The Barber from the Catawba. The Barber from the Catawba. The daughter, the daughters from the Barbara, the Barbara, the Barbara, the Patarbi. So we opened it up with constellations. You see the constellations. You see the constellations written. Do you see it? Here, look beside my left eye. You feel me? Right there. Do you see? It says Aries. We see who's entering Aries? Venus. We see Aquarius. Who's in Aquarius? Mercury. What?
You feel me? So that's tying the San Quentin back to the Virgin Mary. You understand? Mercury ruled the Virgin. So now the communication between we using Jupiter to communicate, right? From the mother to the son, because my mom was the ram. That's why we flying them. That's why we flying Baby Shaq flag. That's why we flying Baby Shaq flag. You feel me? Because she got the 3-4 on her back, going back to back in the Maybach. On Maybank, Mike, check, mate. We laughing straight to the bank. Like this. Barbara and Wachovia, son. You feel? So that's me and my mama right there. Where she raised me, nigga. When she left the house, I was right there. When my mama left her house, when my mama left the house, when my mama left her house for the final time, I was at the house. When my mama left the house for the final time, my mama left the house in January, my birthday week. And she did not come back home until she went, when she went back home, she went to her heavenly home. Do you understand? And all Jonas Fanaz. Patera, bitter now. And so, but while she was here on the earth, she was in Barbara here. Right? So why is our markings there in 1766? That's crazy, bro. And why is her seal there? That's the flower de Louis, the flower de Louisville. That's it right there. Why is it there in Barbara? I had to make sure this light was still on so y'all could hear me. Y'all could hear the real. You literally hear the real. So this is the Dar al Salam. And so I was going to pull up that Carolina, how we titled Bohemia. Hold up. Okay. Hey, there we go. Damn. Get out the way. What it say? The Duke of Bohemia. The Duke of Bohemia. It says titles of nobility in the Carolina dynasty. Why you see Italian flag? Bro, why I got into it with some Italians? I did. I was like, you don't know about the Carolina dynasty, nigga? I told him that. I'm like, nigga, this is my hood. And we got your flag. You feel me? I'm like, this my nationhood, nigga. For real. And they couldn't do nothing but respect it. Like, it's real. Like, when I tell you, bro, like, I'm really on the front line about this, I really am. That's how much I care about my people. You heard what Drasilia said? You feel me? Our women started having babies with foreigners. That's what happened. Our women started having babies with foreigners. Even the mulattoes got to be on code. You feel me? Yes. You feel me? The mulattoes got to be on code. That's just it. And that's where the hate came from. To be honest with you, and J. Rogers' Sex and Race talks about it. And Nature Knows No Color Line, it talks about it. You feel me? How these queens of Europe who look like it's different type of caliber of what y'all call white women. Some of them bitches be exotic, and not to call them bitches, but you know, if the shoe fit, you feel me? If the shoe fit, let her wear that shit. You feel me? Cause for real. And so they were getting with niggas that look like me, that look like Nipsey, you feel me? And they was having babies while they had a whole king. And so when the baby came out a little bit more bourbon, you feel me? It caused questions, and it caused them to hate the women. And on top of that, it caused them to hate us. So what did they do with us? They locked us up. We became prisoners of war. The Dukes of Bohemia. That's why you don't hear about Bohemia no more, because now it's Czechoslovakia. You feel me? That's just the reality.
and that down there you see the Queen, the Bavaria, the Sophie. That's Sophia right there. She got the Star of David on her chest. You feel me? It's long before the state of Israel. She got that Star of David on her in the middle of her chest. Now my great grandma Sophia Adams in that book that I told y'all about, they branded SA on her chest. But in 1396, the Queen of Bohemia had the Star of David on her chest. Nigga. So you see what happened to us? They hated our women. They hated our women. They hated our women. So they switched the signs. And then you see again with Drusilia, you see what she said in her word? It says what? Wait, hold on. All right, that's page 205. But it talk about Barbara a little early on. So it said that uh, it said they said that they rejected the name Nubus because it was synonymous with slave. So they're like, don't slave us, nigga. Tell us who we gonna tell you who we really are. We the original race of humanity. You feel me? What it say right here on page, and then we look in page 35. And on page 35, timestamp. We got a timestamp. 925, 920, what did it say? 23, 23? The 923. So it says that the it, continuing on thousands of years ago, both people were much intermingled 6,000 years ago. The faces of the Egyptian of the old monarchy are Ethiopian, but as the ages went on, they altered from their constant intermingling with Asiatic types. Different Asiatic types, also intense furnace-like heat of Upper Egypt tended to change the feature and darken the skin, even if they were mulattoes, is what this is saying. You feel me? Even if they were. In the inscriptions of the relative campaigns of Pepi I, Negroes are represented as immediately adjoining the Egyptian frontier. This seems perplexed to some authors. They had always been there. This was the old race of the pre-dynastic Egypt and the primitive Kushite type. This was the aboriginal race of Abyssinia. Aboriginal race of Abyssinia. The aboriginal race of Abyssinia. It's symbolized by the great sphinx, which we know is the Hathor al-Makedi. And I'm going to pull this image up here in a second. Of the marvelous face of Cheops. Take the book of the Egyptian history containing the authentic cuts and examine the faces of the first pharaohs. They are distinctively Ethiopian. The Agu of the monuments represented this aboriginal race. They were the ancestors of the Nubians and the ruling race of Egypt. P3 in 1892. In 1892. It says what? The exhibited before a British association some skills of the third and fourth Trefo dynasties, nigga. You see it right there. The Trefo dynasties, son. The Trefo dynasties. Showing the distinct Negro characteristics. They were the slid. Look, alright, I'm not the best reader, but we gonna tackle this word. Come on, bro. I'm a scholar. I'm not the best reader, but I'm a scholar. I'm a scholar. Well, my English scholar told mommy to holler. Call Quentin. Dolichocephalic. dolichocephalic, or long skull. They were doli, dolichocephalic, dolo, dolichocephalic, 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 dolo, dolis, dolichocephalic, or long skull. That the Egypt was a Cushite in her beginning, and that the Ethiopians were not a branch of the Japhet, I can't even say that, bro. Japhet race, in the sense that they are so represented in the average ethnological classifications of today. Egyptians said that their religion had come from the land of Punt. Right. Punt is generally accepted today as have been the Somaliland. So they tell me that anybody that is Somali can look and verify that I look Somali. If I told them that I was from Somali, they would not question it. If I told them that I was from Egypt, they would not question it. If I told them that I was from Sudan, they would not question it. If I told them I was from Trinidad, they would not question it. My son is a Trini. My daughter is Trini. The Holy Trinity. You feel me? You feel me? So that's just, these are facts. So they Bohemian Trinis. So so again, this is Wonderful Ethiopians, 100-year. We honoring Drusilia all year by highlighting what she wrote. You feel me? That's Drusilia. That's a sister, a melanated sister. 1926, at a time when all of the scholars on Egyptology and on our race were European males. So she brought it home. You feel me? So she one of us. She one of us. She is one of us. She is one of us. So happy Women History Month. This is NPR report of the first Duke of Canterbury. What I want to see is I'm reading to my son. I'm reading to my son England, and really my daughter, both of them. You feel me? And they are really the future. So I'm reading to them about family legacy subconsciously, the legacy of family. And that's why I like this book, because it's really like, so all of these titles here of nobility, all of that was for the family. You know what I mean? And how we brought up the fact earlier. Let me bring this up while I'm looking for this and ramble in my mouth. We brought this fact up here. This my mama shit. My mama shit. Right there. And you can read that on your screenshot it. But yeah, I like this book because it talks about legacy of the royal blood, the descendants of William. So I've been reading it to my children, and like I told you, they read Wonderful Ethiopians. They had that recorded in their subconscious mind. They got it recorded in their subconscious mind, and I'm blind as a bat trying to find this book. Like, you should really be a fly on the wall, you know. In my libraries, it's a library/museum. You feel me? That's where I spend most of my time. That's where I'm reporting to you live from. You know what I mean? Like, this is pure dedication. When you have, like Cole said, a lot of people laughing at Cole, but just Cole, we rock with you, bro. Like, for real, 1,000%, dog. You know, I know you probably dealing with a lot. Don't give in to the pressure of people, bro, because you will live miserable. You would have so much misery like that. Like, fuck them. You know what I mean? And I think I think what you really should be focused, like, telling these people, because everybody, like, you explaining a lot about why the book didn't release when it released. Like, nigga, you released that shit on 2/6. 2/6 niggas. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. So that's what people should be aiming and focusing about. Like, that joint released on 2/6/26. You feel me? That's again timestamp. That's the real shit, Cole. So like, you know, again, man, somebody line it up, bro. Like, me and Cole interview. Like, we'll do the No More Suit article. That come with it. Somebody, for real. I just want the team I want around me. They can't be in it for the money. I want a team that's not in it for the money. I want a team that's like, let me know what I need to do. You feel me? Like, I want to shout out Bravo with my last project, uh mohr, which is the science of distribution, which everybody should get that shit off of No More Suits LLC.com. It's a part of my catalog. Bro, where is this book at? I'm tripping. I'm like, don't even care to get this shit no more, bro. Y'all should get that though. And shout out to Bravo though for like, so my last project, the Almutazier, was published in 2021. Bravo did the table of content. She did that shit, like real shit. Wasn't AI. That's a real woman. That's why it's like, man, we honor our women 1,000%. We cannot exist on this planet without y'all. And I know we give y'all a hard time and shit. That's just human nature. But we, at the end of the day, man, we love y'all. Real talk. And for the fellas that's out here, stop bashing your women publicly. For real. And, like, don't bash your women publicly. What y'all go through, like, y'all handle y'all disputes privately. And, like, and the same thing for the sisters. Like, don't please stop saying our brothers, we already get hemmed up in these municipalities, just by living. But, like, don't add fuel to the flame. Like, we having to put people that shouldn't be involved in our family business in it. You know what I'm saying? Keep your affairs private. Like, and when you keep your affairs private and privately build wealth. And that's what I was getting. That's what this page that I got put up on the screen right now legitimately is saying, is to legit real estate, have conversations about real estate. You know what I mean? Not about hate, because y'all love each other. Y'all brought a kid into the world together. The fuck? That's agape love, so you can't deny that. So discuss real estate with your partner. Bro, where is that book? It can't be far, because, nigga, we just read it. My son would know exactly where it's. Oh, nigga, I can't make this shit up. I can't make this shit up. I want y'all to, like, see how stupid I am. I done looked around the whole library for this shit. This shit was right there the whole freaking time. Bruh. But that, bro. Bro, man, from the fifth floor. Head ass. I looked everywhere, but right in front of me. And went on tour. So we're gonna see if it talk about this. This is this book. You know what I'm saying? This is really good. I mean, like I said, I'm reading it to my kids, and my bookmark is the last date that we read it. That's the bookmark. All I gotta do is just turn to the last place I see ink written. The timestamp. This is about timestamps. Constellations. So, Canterbury. Let's see if we can find it. She's the Archbishop of Canterbury. Man, who shout out to the Outlanders. That's one of my favorite TV series. For real. Like, shout out to the writers, shout out to the actors, shout out to the directors, everybody that's involved with that, brother Thesis. there's 13 the bishops, priests, and friars, 13th century. So what? When she became what now? She became the Canterbury. Okay, so we're gonna look up, and this is a teaching moment for all my future scholars. All my future scholars. This is a teaching for how you search things on Google. The way you do it in a book is you go to the index. Go to the index. Canterbury. Priest. Declaration of Rights. Can't. Canterbury. Damn, it's in there a bunch of times. Third page 39 and 40, 58 to 59, 60 to 65, 74, page 103, page 106, page 112, and page 142. So you won't go in order. You feel me? So if you ever shopping, you know, if you do shops, delivery shops, and you have multiple items. So these, in this case, the pages are items, and the shelves is the page numbers. So you got to go in order. So what was the first page we seen? And this is how I was able to pull up the facts about Barbara, and to cite that where she's mentioned, her name is mentioned in Wonderful Ethiopians, again published 100 years ago. Canterbury, on the other hand, is on page 39 through 40. So it talks about here in page 39 and 40. Oh, it talks about Saint. Oh, it says Saint Iona, 597. It talks about Saint Patrick. It says should I read it? It says March 25th, March 21st. We lining that up. March 25th, brother. It says it right there. That's crazy. What the fuck? Wow. Hold on. So this is hold up. This Discovery. I read this, by the way, on 1/21/2025. It says the conversion of Christianity. All right. So I'm just gonna read up to. What I'll do is I'm gonna read, because I'm gonna read this section here for my audience, and again, this is for educational purposes, and this is for research purposes, this is for discovery purposes, and this is for timestamp purposes for the time that we are in right now, a historic time. And I'm going to read a piece of 38, all of 39, all of 40, and the last paragraph at the top of page 41. You know what I'm saying? It continues. So the last paragraph on 40 ends on page 41. So I'm getting ready to read that to my audience for the simple fact that this is a time stamp, and I got this up, and I'm leaving this up right here as I read this. And again, I read this on 1/21/2025. You saw me go to it in the index, right? You seen me search my whole damn library for. You heard me. You didn't see me. Search my whole library for it, and then as I found it and discovered it, looked up the index where Canterbury is mentioned, and came right to it. You see, we got the same time stamp, and we are off of March 25th by 4 or 5 days. Come on, 4 days off. You feel me? Give us that. The day that she was proclaimed. Historically, it says the ceremony that has been taken there for almost 1400 years. She's the first woman to be the church king. Let's go. Let's read it. The conversion to Christianity, it says, shortly after AD 585, after Darrell, nigga. A young Roman aristocrat, Origins named Gregory, saw several boys of fair complexion. So this ties to Drusilla, what we were just talking about, okay? Miscegenation. Like, okay, they were fair complexion and fair hair exposed for sale in the Roman slave market. 585. He inquired whether they were Christians or pagans, and they told they were pagans. Alas, he said, how sad that such a handsome folk are still in the grasp of the altar of darkness, and faces of such beauty, right, concealed minds of ignorance of God's grace. He then asked, what was their race? Were they Barbara? You see all this text timestamps, bro. 121. That's my grandfather's birthday, right? I'm gonna pay homage to him real quick. 121. 121. Pay homage to my grandfather. And his descendants as numerous as the stars. Again, he just had a great granddaughter that was born. You feel me? So this is my that's my grandfather. You feel me? That's my grandfather. That's my grandfather. Born on 121. Right? So again, it's the museum. So the Batari, the Roman slave mark. It says, how has sad and handsome and still in the grab the faces of such beauty conceal the minds of ignorance of God's grace. And he asked what was their race, and was told that they were angels. Angles. 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 England, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That is appropriate, he said, for they have angelic faces, and this is right that they should become fellow heirs with the angels in heaven. Mashallah. They said that they were angels. Gregory thereupon asked the Pope to send him to Britain to convert the English, but the Pope, pressed by the citizens of Rome, refused to allow this minister to leave Rome. Gregory eventually became Pope himself and promptly initiated his long-cherished project. The time was ripe for Gregory. Had they recently heard the English wished to become Christians, he knew about Ethelbert, right? Ethelbert, the pagan Christian king, right? The pagan Christian king. Gospel to the English. Gregory named a close friend Augustine. I'm sorry. The English was right. Gregory had heard of the English wish to become Christian, and he knew that Ethelbert, the pagan king of Kent, had married the Christian princess from Gaul, which Gaul is France, okay? And so again, ancient Gaul is what is modern France and Germany. So again, you see that here, right? That's it. So this is how the Carolinians were intermingling. So that's Gaul. This is ancient Gaul, and you know, part of the Frankish Empire. All right. So we're coming back here because it's the timestamp. All right. So it says Augustine proved the care. It says right here, the Christian princess from Gaul. To carry the Christian gospel to the English, Gregory named a close friend, Augustine. Though a man of narrow views and arrogant bearing, Augustine proved able to carry out the greater man's conception. He, nearly 40 fellow missionaries reached Canterbury, the capital of the Kentish kingdom, in 597. Within a year of Ethelbert received baptism, and so did shortly afterward his nephew, the King of Essex. The conversion of Kent and Essex set a pattern for the older kingdom. First, to convert the king. The conversion of his loyal Thingans would then follow, after which the missionaries could be sent to preach the populace. By these tactics, Ray Edward of East Anglia and Edwin of Northumbria were converted to Christianity, but the death of a monarch might bring a relapse in heathenism, and did briefly in Kent, more permanent in Essex and East Anglia, a distraughtley in Northumbria. Despite these setbacks, the missionaries set out from Canterbury, preserved in God's work, with the result that by 663 the southeast was permanently won to the church. The lasting conversion of Northumbria, however, was a task left for the Celtic missionaries from Iona. In 597, the year Augustine landed in Kent, Saint Saint Colomba died on the island of Iona. Saint Colomba, man, that's crazy, bro. Now, I gotta bring this up again. Give me, hold up. Matter of fact, let's go here. So y'all, this is how you reference shit. Y'all can't just go rely on Ancestry.com. There's so much stuff out here in the World Wide Web. And that's why we here to be a source page. You feel me? It's worth it. Trust me, it is worth it. So, when you go to Facebook, I want you to type in, when you go to Facebook, hey, how y'all doing? Stop looking through my glasses, Nick. Take my glasses off. Now I can't even see. Put my damn glasses back on. Facebook is crazy. So I want you to type in Lucy Breckenridge Jones. Then I want you to type Breckenridge Jones, and you type in Eastern Cemetery. Okay, and it's gonna come right up, and you're gonna see you're gonna see the Friends of Eastern Cemetery has the post, the original post, and it was published on March 25th, brother. God damn, I can't make this shit up, bro. This is, man. Shout out to Thumb, bro. That is crazy. You see it right there. Bro, that's crazy. That is crazy. They call me William H. up in New York. Man, come on, bro. Come on. Dang, bro. That March 25th. Damn. That is crazy. That's Lucy right there. We honor Lucy. You feel me? We honor Lucy. So I can't, for some reason I can't pull the post up. Here it is right there. March 25th, 2022, Louisville, Kentucky. Right? This is what we want to see here. Wow. That's crazy. And we reading about St. Colombo now. Look,
March 25th, bro. Timestamp. Flip the code. March 25th, 2026. 4 years later. Boom. Now look at this. This is where we at? It says Lucy was born on December 1st in Louisville to Christopher Columbus and Sally Conley Breckenridge. It's a whole, if you from Louisville, you know about Breckenridge. My mama and them. You feel me? So Christopher Columbus. Now, let's come here. Let's come here. It say St. Colomba right there. Where it say that? Right there. In 597, the year of Augustine landed in Kent, St. Columba died. Come on, bro. On the island. It say it on the island. St. Columba died on the, he was an Irishman of royal birth. Now, hold up. Hold up. All right. Hold on. Hold on, bro. Hold up. Hold up. That's crazy, bro. Now, let's flip the camera. We at the library. We at the library. That's why it's always quiet. That's why it's always quiet. Dang it. Look at this shit. Alright, so this is page. This is page cross-reference right here. Damn, bro. Page 17 in 1975. It says that right here that William Jones, it says Lucy's father name. Now it's discrepancies that they say Christopher Columbus, RAPE, my grandmother, you feel what I'm saying? Sally, you feel me? That now we don't know if that's true and that has to be fact, and we looking into that. So just putting that out there. Alright? That was what was told to us. But again, it has to be fact checked. It gotta be fact checked. So with that being said, it says that Lucy's father, ironically, his name was Christopher Columbus, who was a red-haired Irish man. That's the point I want to make. That's all I wanted to say from that book. That's the point of reference from there. Page 17. All right. Go get my brother book, 1975. Get it from No More Suits. All right. So now let's come back here. It said that in 597, again, 597, it says that St. Colombo died on the island of Iona. St. Colombo was an Irish man born of royal birth. Hold up. Born of royal birth. All right. So if we don't have the audio for this video, it's fine because I have it recorded here. We got two sources for the audio. All right. It says that he was born of royal birth, temper, fervent faith, who carried Christianity of St. Patrick to Iona. Okay? To Iona. A small wine-swept island off the west coast of Scotland. Okay? Off the west coast of Scotland. So here, real quick, you see Iona here. That's Ireland there. England here. Scotland here. Iona here. Alright? There you go. That's Iona. So it says that St. Columba was an Irishman from Ireland
was of royal birth and piteous temper, fervent faith, who carried Christianity of St. Patrick to Iona, a small island off the west coast of Scotland. It was Iona among the monks in their beehive huts that Oswald of Northumbria sought refuge from his enemies, and it was Iona that he looked for help when he became the king of Northumbria in 633. Right? Penda, the fierce heathen of the king of Mercia, had driven the missionaries of Rome from Northumbria. Oswald, anxious to restore Christianity to his kingdom, naturally looked for help to the monks who had sheltered him in Iona. They heeded his call and sent a monk named Aidan. Aidan, instead of founding a bishopric at York, established a monastery on the island of Lindisfarne, off the coast of Northumbria. By doing so, he advertised one of the deepest differences between the Celtic and Roman Christianity. What did we say at the beginning of this joint? The government of the Roman Church was centered in the bishop and his diocese, and the government of the Celtic Church in the abbot and his monastery. Two different jurisdictions, two different churches, two different jurisdictions, right? So we talking about Mama Abbott, you know what I mean? We talking about the Church of Rome, and we talking about the house of Mama Abbott off of 25th Street. You feel what I'm saying? By the airport. That's what we talking about. Two different jurisdictions, dog. So the government was centered. There were other differences. Roman monks shaved the top of his head in the form of a circle in imitation of Christ's crowns of thorns. The Celtic monk followed the Druid custom of shaving a broad strip from ear to ear. They also dated Easter differently. Both churches agreed that Easter fell on the first Sunday after the full moon, after the vernal equinox. But the Celtic church put the vernal equinox on March 20 fucking 5th. The fucking 5th. So they telling you right here who the fuck they are. They telling you what the fuck it is. They saying that this is not Rome, nigga. This is not Rome. Matter of fact, let's look at her satire. Let's look at where it come from. It say the royal families, nigga. Look, there go the satire right motherfucking there above my motherfucking head. But you see Big Mama them running the shit. Do you understand what I'm telling you? So this is what y'all seeing unfold right in your face. In your face. Yeah. These are the facts. So on the 25th, they telling you they the Celtic priests. This is what the fuck this shit is talking about. The Celtic priesthood. Look, so they telling you. They put it on, the rest of Christendom put it on March 21st. Do you understand? 4-day difference. Today's the 29th. Okay. I'm reporting to you live on the 29th, the first day of Holy Week. Do you get the point that I'm telling you? Furthermore, the Celts stubbornly, that sound like you, Quentin, an 84-year cycle of such Sundays. Happy Sunday, right? A cycle that the Roman Church gave up in 457 for a more accurate one of 532 years. Beneath the outward differences lay a deeper, more spiritual difference. The Roman Church emphasized order and discipline and possessed wealth and power. The Celtic Church relied on evangelistic fervor and praised the ascetic life. Aidan, often the perfect example of such life, trudging the roads of Northumbria on foot, preaching the gospel, admonishing the rich, and helping the poor. His band of monks, with the constant support of Oswald, rescued Northumbria from heathenism, and his successor, on the death of Penda, also won the kingdom of Mercia to the cause of Christ. In Northumbria, the Roman and Celtic churches, right, now met face to face, for Oswald, who succeeded Oswald as king, had married the Kitten's priestess who followed the Roman usage. It was practical and an urgent problem, for it was the most awkward for the king to be celebrating Easter while the queen was observing uh the Easter controversy. They telling you, man, hold on. It says while the queen was observing Lent, my fault. The king Oswald therefore summoned a council at Whitby in 664 to debate the Easter controversy. Coleman, a monk from Iona, stated that the case for the Celtic Easter. He argued that they dare not change a date which both Saint John, nigga, Saint John, man, Saint John, bro, that's crazy. Both Saint John the Evangelist and the saintly Colomba had observed. Damn, bro. Wilfrid, a native of Northumbria, who had studied in Rome, then presented the case for the Roman dating of Easter. It was the uses observed by the Apostle Peter and Paul, right? And by all the world except we just talked about Peter. Just go look at the last reel. I just told you, bro. It's right here, nigga. It's St. Peter. Peter, nigga. Come on, bro. What you talking about? What you talking about, man? Where them keys at? Where the keys at? I got the keys to the city. St. Peter. I got all that. Then thought that bitch is right here. None of y'all niggas can't see. None of y'all niggas can't see. None of y'all niggas can't see me. Bro, let me go. Let's go, bro. Let's go. Let's keep reading. Coleman, Colomba, Rome, observed by the Apostle Peter and Paul and by all the world except the obstinate inhabitants of the two remote islands. He then asked Coleman whether a Celtic saint, meaning Colomba, was preferred before the blessed Peter, right? The blessed Peter, who had the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Do you understand what the freak a jet black Negro, why the jet black Negro got the keys to the kingdom of heaven, bro? I don't know why right now I'm channeling Saint Benedict the Mohr there in Reynoldstown, that territory, and that, man, I don't know. It's a call in there. I'm some the people there, right? On that in that area, right? Mm, 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 mm. Behind the food line, right? All in that territory. Y'all holy. Y'all got waters running under y'all houses that you don't even know about. You got streams running. I'm preaching to somebody. Man. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. But it says saying, blessed is Peter, who had the keys to the kingdom of heaven. We talking Saint Peter. Oswald once interrupted. It was true. He asked Coleman that Christ gave the keys to the kingdom of heaven to Saint Peter. Christ gave the keys to the kingdom of heaven to Saint Peter. Coleman answered that it was. Oswald thereupon declared for Rome, lest I come to the gates of the kingdom of heaven. That's the moon, bro. That's where our moon is right now. The kingdom of heaven. Bolo Sharaba. There should be none to open them. When I come to the gates of the kingdom of heaven, there should be none to open. Other reasons probably weighed more heavily with Oswald. Reasons such as the grandeur of Rome, the strength of Canterbury, and the need for harmony in the realm. This is much certain. The judgment of Whitby ensured that England, right, would not be divided between the different communions and would be united with an undivided Christendom. The acceptance of Roman usages led to the organization of the English Church, Managa. The English Church. This is where we started. This is where it starts. This is where we are now, nigga. The Church of England, nigga. You see the look, bruh. March 25th, the Church of England. They telling you what the fuck they on, bro. Dedo. No, I got more cross references for you, buddy. Come on, we're not done. Dang. Between the difference, united with the Christian accepting the task was performed. Okay, Balder. The acceptance of the Roman usage led to the organization of the English church as a single body, right? This task performed by Theodore of Tarsus, a remarkable man who proved that age need be no obstacle to great achievement. That's chapter 4 of my book, Timothy 4:12. Yeah, man, dang, I gotta read. Jesus back, these in the night, y'all. Man, I've been serious, but you took me as a joke. Wait, hold on. All right, hold on. Chapter 4. It says, no, it's, I'm referencing my arm, bro. The alarm clock on boss, nigga. Chapter 6. Wait, I think it's chapter 4. I think it's chapter 4. It may be. You feel me? Whichever one that opened up with Timothy 4:12, son. Timothy. Theodore. Daughters. Remarkable man. Prove age be no obstacle for great achievement. Make Nipsey. Make $1,000,000 while you young, son. The second coming of the cosmic Christ is above. Is here we go. Theodore. Then 67. Right? It says, all right, look, Theodore, a remarkable man, proved no obstacle achievement, named Archbishop of Canterbury by the Pope. What did it say? She's the Archbishop of Canterbury as the Pope. The first woman Archbishop of Canterbury. Look, okay, so here we go. Here we go. Let's keep reading. Keep reading it. Let's keep reading. It says, Archbishop of Canterbury by the Pope in 669. How many years ago was that? I'm not about to do the math. You are. 2026 by 669. Theodore, then 67, began the work of organizing the English church. He completed it by the time of his death in 88. At 88, Theodore was a monk, a scholar, a philosopher from Asia Minor, a man seeming ill-fitted to the task given by him. Fortunately, he was also a disciplinarian and an autocrat. In 20 years, he created the diocesan organization for the English Church. At his death, there were 14 bishoprics extending over the various kingdoms of England, with the diocese and the preponderance of work fell on the bishop. He baptized converts, chastised and confirmed candidates for the membership of the church, made annual visits through the diocese, and supervised the churches that fell within it. And the bishop was to perform these tasks according to the Roman ideas of practical efficiency. Theodore told Chad, the saintly bishop of Mercia, that must be abandoned the Celtic custom of visiting the diocese on foot. And when Chad objected, Theodore forced him to mount a horse. Theodore also summoned the frequent synods and the meetings attended by all the bishops of England, and thereby gave England a synodical organization. The synod that met at Hertford in 672 was the first occasion which the representatives of the English people sat together for the debate of the decision. I might as well finish this out. I'm going to finish it out. The steadfast of Augustine, the zeal of Aidan, the prudence of Oswald, the skill of Theodore, all contributed to the conversion of the English, but there were more fundamental reasons why Christians triumphed so completely. Most important among them was the inadequacy of the German heathenism, a religion compounded by animism and magic. The Anglo-Saxons worshipped trees, wells, rivers, mountains, and they felt themselves surrounded by ogres, elves, demons, and goblins. Priests were said to have possessed magical powers. They could bind the hands of the enemy by chanting spells on the free prisoner from his fetters by incantation. The Anglo-Saxons had their gods, Tweed, Woden, Thornor, Frigg. From those names came Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But they had no ethical system, no answer to the problems of life, of death, no cosmology that explained the mystery of human existence. Christianity, on the other hand, did offer these answers, these questions. It provided cosmology of the heavens, my G. It Man, you see how we circled it? Of the heaven and hell, and offered the promise of eternal life, and preached that it could be won through belief and obedience. It also offered a social discipline useful to a settled agrarian society. The church opposed violence, condemned sexual license, defended marriage, divine rights, and inheritance, and urged the submission to one in this world. The kings of England welcomed a church whose scriptures describe, whose government illustrated kingship in action. Monotheism fit better with the monarchy than many gods and many local shrines of paganism. The inadequacy of the hedonism and the relevance of Christianity must be added to the prestige of Rome. The rude English look at all, and the language, art, learning, splendor, sophistication of Roman Christianity. To choose to become a Christian meant to choose to be a part of a civilization of Rome. Now, um, and I just finished that. It's 10:17, so I see, Burr, right? So, the creation of English monarch. This is really good. I just read that little section. You feel me? Page 40, 39, 38 through 41. Um, but it all ties together. And we were talking about the Church of England, and I told you that we in St. Andronicus Parish. So this is ancient, you know, it's deeper than what we think, bro. So, yeah, happy Holy Week, just want to pull that up. I'm searching stuff through my photo, I'm not even going on Google, I'm going to my photos in my phone and searching the Church Act, 1706. Right? This was an extension of the Church of England that established this, right? In 1706. So I just want to pull this up, that this is just facts. This is me. This is my first time doing a Google search on this live. Because I wanted to pull up officially the Church of England as the state-supported religion in the colony. So in the English colonies, and again, I'm going to pull up this so that we won't get spooked out by the word colony. So this is page 49 in Wonderful Ethiopians, Drusilla Dungy Houston. Okay, it also talks about Barbara here again. Where you at, Barbara? Let's do a word puzzle. Look for Barbara. Right here. Offshoot of the original stock of people that had the first that stock that first peopled Egypt and Nubia. So when it's talking about peopling, it's a colony, right? It says it here. It says that you see the colony. Where you see colonies, colony, 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 colonies, 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 colonies. Where you see colonies, right here, boom. It was from this nation that went forth the colonies that spread civilization. So are these just a part of the colonies? So the whole culture of colonies came from the Ethiopians. Okay? So when it says here that the official church for the colonies was the Church of England, right? Now, in this book, it also is going to tell you that England, the Church of England actually separated itself from Rome. I think with Canute the Great, Arthur Canute the Great, he separated the Church of England from Rome. So it's his own bishopric. So therefore, essentially, the Pope and the Archbishop of Canterbury are essentially have the same status. And again, see, there's the satire. All right, and the women. And so to have a woman back for the first time, or for the first time, you know, it speaks volumes. That's how it's supposed to be. That's really it. The women always come first. So where was I going with it? The Pope, Archbishop Canterbury, here she is receiving it, becoming that. So that's really triumphant, and I'm proud to be a reporter on this and to discuss this on my live because it just more timestamps. Just 2 weeks ago, I was telling you that it's women chiefs and women's could be chief, right? And now you see that women are running the planet. So fellas, you have to give up your seat for the ladies so that they can sit. You know what I mean? It don't matter if she's a SMUT. It don't matter if she is a TOTHOT. It don't matter if she a HOE. It don't matter if that. Whatever she is, it don't matter if she's a female dog. To you, in your opinion, you got to give up your seat so that she can sit. You feel what I'm saying? So that you, her son, can stand on your divine square. That's what we is. That's why we standing. You know what I'm saying? That's why we stand on. That's why we stand on the. You know, facing Vidabra. That's it. On our square, 10 toes, and that's why we rocking Nip. That's because that's where the moon at right now. It's shining light on where Nip was born. That's real talk. In the heavens and on earth. You know what I mean? So long live Nip. Long live Barbara. I pray that this, y'all let me know. I think my lives is better me personally, but I do the reels so that I can, get through the facts quick and, do my timestamps and everything like that. And again, we honor Drusilia and all the mothers, man. Mother Mildred Hash, we honor you, our matriarch for our church, St. Peter's, and our my grandmother, Viola Crit, Slade, my grandfather's mother, Odell Slade, who was born in 1905, my grandmother's mother, Bertha Spencer, who has literally mountains named after her in Virginia, who was born in 1906, 200 years after the Church Act, right? Castlefield, free Castlefield because she locked up, under husbandry. That's what happened to Castlefield. That's why she got kicked out of Ethiopia because she wasn't going for that because she knew who she was. She said, "Don't call me Nubus, call me the barber." She said, "Call me barber." So free the women, who's silently going through captivity and don't know how to speak on it. You gotta you have to let the caged birds fly. You gotta let them women fly because, if the love is real and genuine, they gonna find their way back home. I'm gonna close out on this poem. I just took my glasses off and I gotta find Book of Rhymes. I gotta find Book of Rhymes because I'm gonna close out with a rhyme from Book of Rhymes for Holy Week. Literally, I'm lawfully blind without my glasses. You feel me? So I need a driver. I'm gonna need a driver. I'm lawfully blind without my glasses. Dang, they can't. I got this new line I wrote. It say, I said, fueled by hope, 3-month retreat, just a cope. I was like legally blind, but they can't see my scope. I was like, my house gonna come from a different point of view. That's for the few. Nah, scratch that. That's for you. Oh, dang, that was written today. I just, yeah, my shit gonna come from my crib gonna come with a different point of view. For the few, nah, only for you. You know, she know. All right, so Jesus back, thieves in the night, y'all woke. I've been serious, but y'all took me as a joke. That's how it go, and I gotta find it. Oh shit, I gotta find this shit. I gotta find it. Yeah. All right, so I'm a rap. Timothy 4:12. Yeah. What? Yeah. All right, I don't want to waste nobody's time, so I'm gonna cut off and I'm gonna come on when I find it. I sure was. I was like price back. Using the night. This page 8 for the rhymes. Yeah. Price back. Using the night. I woke. Being serious, but y'all took me as a joke. Timothy 4:12. You ain't read the truth. Christ was 12 and he performed miracles. Shut up, slave. Shut up, slave. Hey, slave. SLAVE. They ain't hearing you. My pistol is like a pistol, give them the loot. Black queens on the ground trying to be cute, just to swerve a king. But God love unconditional, so we forgave. Lord forgive them, but they know not what you made. I'm on the dock, trying to get paid dollars, fuck attention. Nah, I'm tripping. That's a aborted mission, because that's wealth inside of you. And you telling me we running in circles? You see, that's why I wanted the Jews to keep it from you. Chapter 5, what a few. I mean, you know what they living for. You proclaim 144. Tribal, ain't religious, harmonized one with the universe. You see how I united that first verse? You see that's one verse. So I tell them with my rhyme. Now, they soul's cursed. Today the 11th. My shit dropped at midnight like a thief in the night. You see how I united that first verse? No sleep. It's time to wake the earth. Man. Then I heard a number of those who were sealed, 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel. Israel. The tribe of that's the house. The tribe of the house. Dang, it's crazy. Price back. These in the night I woke. I've been serious, but I gotta do it again, bro. Like this. I'm gonna do it again like this, because that's how. You feel me? I bet. I was like, price back. This payday. The thieves is the name of it. I wrote this night that we were about to publish the alarm clock. That the alarm clock was about to release. And I was going to play. I mean, it was releasing at midnight. You feel me? And I was writing this. I was like, Christ back. Thieves in the night that I woke. I've been serious, but y'all took me as a joke. Timothy 4:12, we ain't read the truth. Christ was 12 and he performed miracles. Shut up, slave. They not hearing you. My pistol is like a pistol. food, give them a loot. Give me a loot, give me a loot. Black queens on the gram trying to be cute, just to swerve the king. But God love unconditional, so we forgave. We'll forget them, for they know not what you made. I'm on the clock, trying to get paid dollars, fuck attention. And now I'm tripping, that's a supported mission. Cause that wealth inside of you. You telling me we run in the circles. You see, that's why Allah hid the jewels to keep it from you. Chapter 5 is for the few. I mean, you know what they living for. You can claim 144. Tribal, religious, harmonized, one with the universe. Dang, what a mic is. Damn, I don't get the mic. All I need is one mic. Oh. Damn, bro, I'm pretty sure y'all could hear that. Damn. What? The universe. See how I united that one verse? I kill him with my rhyme. And they serious code. Curse. 11. My shit drop at midnight like a thief in the night. You see how I united that first verse? No sleep. It's time to wake Earth. It's time to wake the Earth. You see how I'm aligned? We gonna end on that line right there. Aligned with the soul of mine. Inshallah.